Good evening, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Bubba, sitting in for Paul Harvey. Today, stand by for commentary. Well, this is a commentary that I hope Mr. Paul Harvey Jr. enjoys, trying to create homage to his father. And I'll call it Remembering 116 Years Ago. Well, 116 years ago, your ancestors started a project that defined the American psyche for the next 100 years. The building of the Panama Canal. Everybody thought you guys were going to fall flat in your face, that you were stupid. The French didn't do anything. They got bankrupt. Well, President Roosevelt was like President Trump, except for one thing. He was a better president. He was a bully, yes, but he had three people that he put in place that made this project what it is. One, Mr. Stevens as the engineer in 1906. Between 1904 and 1906, there was a lot of Americans that died, big time, because at the time they didn't know yellow fever was with the mosquitoes. They fought so. They knew malaria was. And Mr. Gorgas went with the same opinion. Okay, if it's like malaria, we got to eliminate the mosquitoes, and that's what he did. Mitigating, and that's what he did. So that was the second appointment that worked. And the third appointment was when Mr. Stevens' family died in 1907. He quit and he left. President Roosevelt was like President Trump in a way. He had a bad temper. And he says, I will not stand for anybody else leaving, so I'm putting a military in there. So he put George W. Goethals, a general, and put him in there. And Mr. Goethals kept Dr. Gorgas's carte blanche. So between 1907, by that time Dr. Gorgas was already full speed ahead with his stuff, and by 1908 the Panama Canal started building in earnest. There were still deaths being recorded, both Americans and people who they hired or brought in to do the Panama Canal laborers. But for Gorgas, with the laborers, he made them the same way as the other people. Wherever they slept, it was fumigated and stuff like that. They were at par. Racism didn't start in Panama Canal till after 1920. But anyway, this is what he did, and this caused a lot of laborers to not lose their lives. He did a mitigation, same as with this pandemic here. If you guys would have heed your ancestors' way of doing things, you would have had a lot less deaths than you have here. They weren't concerned about a vaccine. They weren't even trying to get a vaccine. They were trying to mitigate it so that they could lower the deaths, get this done, and have a livable conditions to get this operational. Live with a certain number of deaths during the year. And they did. There was a certain number of deaths every year of yellow fever from 1904 till the end of the canal zone, 1979. It wasn't zero, okay? That's what you guys don't understand. But they did that. And the way they mitigated it, they just divided the territory into 11 sectors, the Canal Zone 10 and Panama City number 11. And like I said, they destroyed the buildings that there was, and they built them up. Same with what you guys should have done here. You guys should have divided your states into 10 sectors and each one into 10 grids, and gone there and checked the air samples of the different buildings, especially the grocery stores, the places where old people are left, and stores that you need for businesses, and see what the level of the virus is, and have street sweepers with air filters collecting the air and diluting the virus, what you never did here. That's what Dr. Gorgas was doing in Panama. And this is what I'm saying. If Mr. Paul Harvey were alive today, he would be saying this to you Americans. We've lost the knowledge that our ancestors gave us because President Trump threw that out the window. He didn't search for President Roosevelt, which was like him. But President Roosevelt had a lot better mind, better political mind, better president than President Trump is today. Anyway, sitting in for Paul Harvey today, this is your favorite alien and Bubba. Good day.